Something's new again, and for the culinary scene, that means desserts from the 1970s are back, baby.
Oh my God, best decade ever. All right, so think Black Forest cake, gelatin molds, and the like, but reimagined for 2024. So here with his take on sweet treats from the grooviest decade is Toronto baker Colin Asuncion. Welcome back to the show.
Nice to see you.
Some fun.
Oh my God, the music is killing me. It's so great. Lots of trendy restaurants have really recently added versions of classic desserts from the 70s to their menu. So why now? Like, why do you think they're making a comeback?
Well, just like in fashion, food has trends and everything comes back. And I think we've gone through this phase of food looking so serious. And I feel like we see all these desserts that look like they've been made by like a doctor and an architect in a lab in Sweden.
It's true. There's like little spittle on it or whatever.
Exactly. You need like a tweezer and like 17
Yeah.
sous chefs. But 70s desserts are not like that. They're fun, they're opulent, and they're just like an absolute joy. And I think that's why they're back.
Unpretentious too, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so why don't we start this little taste of nostalgia with Black Forest cake? Colin, how is yours different than the one we remember?
So Black Forest cake, it's made of chocolate cake, whipped cream, and cherries. And I've updated every single element. So the cake itself is usually just a regular chocolate cake, but today we have chocolate olive oil cake because I love the flavor. And I know people don't like this word, but I just think chocolate olive oil cake is super moist.
It is. Oh, yeah,
Moist
that
is
word.
good. And then I've swapped the cherries for cherry jam, and then the regular whipped cream is swapped for chocolate whipped cream, just for extra chocolate flavor.
So nice. So normally I find the cherry a bit hideous, and there's the alcohol. It's very boozy. I feel like a traditional one. So what have you made this with liqueur as well?
So this one is booze free, just for a dry February moment. Why not? But if you wanted to have a boozy cake, you could soak your cake layers with kirsch, which is a cherry liqueur, or creme de cacao to have more chocolate flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm full of cake right now. So. Food from the 70s is often involved in over-the-top presentation. They loved flambé and torching. So we're gonna actually bring some flames to this dessert. So tell us about these meringue chocolate mousse parfaits.
That's right, so hopefully we're not gonna burn the house down
Let's not.
because I don't have fire safety training, so we will be okay. So we have some chocolate mousse parfaits, which have layers of chocolate mousse and a cookie pearl layer. And then we've topped that with a Swiss meringue on top, which we are going to torch.
Okay.
So you each So you each have a little torch.
Yeah.
So you can just pull the trigger and just lightly torch the top. It won't take too much time.
Can you start?
And sure, I will start. So we'll do a little demo, test that fire. There it is. Just like oh my gosh. Just a little, and it is on fire. Okay, yeah. And just you get a nice little
it's
light
really
toast.
fun. There's a real,
It is
This
fun, a
is
little
fun.
movement. Yeah, and then it'll add that toasted marshmallow flavor and look. Yeah, let's okay.
Oh my
no fire,
gosh.
we're good.
Okay, good. We're good. We did it.
Smell it.
Yeah, it smells like a campfire. Not gonna lie, that made me super nervous.
We're gonna dive in,
We
Colin.
did it, yeah, absolutely.
We survived. Everything's
We did
not on
survive.
fire. This is reminiscent of another 70s dessert to you. What is that?
That's right. So every time I see a torched meringue, I think of baked Alaska, which is like an ice cream bomb covered in meringue, and then you torch or broil that. So if you wanted to do a mini version of that, you could do this and swap the chocolate mousse for ice cream, and then top it with meringue and torch it just like we did today.
This is amazing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes. I feel like we can all, I feel like people from a certain era can picture those epic jello molds from back in the day. They were very odd and there were things, fruits suspended in them. But you've done it like an updated version, and you say the key to this recipe is properly blooming the gelatin powder. So you're gonna show us how to do that. So let's start with that.
That's right. So if you're using powdered gelatin, you need to bloom it, which is basically hydrating the little granules to make sure that it will gel properly.
Okay.
So science. So we have a little bowl here, and we're just gonna add a little bit of water. We'll call it 2 tablespoons of water.
Is it warm? Is it cold?
It's like room temp.
Okay.
Lukewarm room temp. And then here is our gelatin powder. This is like 1 envelope package.
Okay.
You just sprinkle that on top.
Got it.
And then you just take a little whisk and you just give it a stir. And then you see it already starts to gel. So you let that sit for a few minutes, and then it will actually become completely solid.
Okay.
And then you actually add that puck to your hot liquid, and then that is what helps it set and stay solid.
Oh, okay.
Love that.
Nice.
So tell us, love that.
Yeah, it's like already solid.
It's already
which is cool.
solid.
Yeah.
Tell us about the lychee, or if you're Asian, lychee jelly mold that you brought for us today.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna talk about it and cut into it. So I'm definitely gonna make a mess, but you know what? Life is messy. That's
Yes, do it.
Okay, so I've combined two desserts. So like a classic jelly mold, as well as lychee jelly, which is one of my favorite childhood treats. So we've suspended real whole lychee fruit, as well as other berries. Yeah. And then the base is actually a coconut jelly layer. So,
Oh my.
maybe I'm not gonna make a mess.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Pretty classy.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh, Melissa.
We are making it
for
happen.
me?
Yeah,
Thank
try
you.
it out.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
Please
Beautiful.
enjoy.
As you're cutting it, is there a way to make this vegan for our vegan friends?
You know what, there actually is. So instead of gelatin, you could use agar-agar, which is a vegan substitute, and it's made out of, or it's derived from seaweed, if you can believe it.
Oh my God.
This is fun.
Yeah. The only tip I have for the agar-agar is, oh yeah.
Okay.
make a mess.
I'm gonna try this out in a second, but first we want to get to our last dessert, which is pineapple upside down cake. Remember that one?
Yes.
I feel like this one, there's no need for improvement, but talk about what you did differently.
So, you know, I agree, and the only tweak I made was making it mini. So we have these little individual portions. It would be great for a dinner party. I just love pineapple upside down cake. This is one of the first desserts I learned to make, actually, so it's very nostalgic for me.
Sorry, I'm back on this, guys, for a second, because this is actually, like, you'd think it would be tacky and weird, but it's actually refreshing and fun. I'm just right,
Oh,
back
good.
on that. It's very delightful.
I'm so glad you like it.
So good.
And the pineapple upside down cake. Oh my gosh, it's so
Oh,
good.
good. I'm so glad you like it.
We have time quickly for one last one, which
Okay.
is the update on the classic, you either love it or hate it, the tiramisu.
Tiramisu, that's right. So 70s classic. Usually it's an espresso base, but I've updated it by swapping the espresso for matcha green tea because I love matcha. Oh, I love this reaction. Thanks, friends. So yeah, I've just swapped the espresso for a matcha flavor. We have a mascarpone cream instead of a mascarpone custard. It's a little bit lighter, so lovely updated dessert.
It's delicious.
Beautiful.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
So glad.
You're so good.
Colin,
thank
this
you.
was so much fun and delicious. So, listen up, studio audience. Our friends at Healthy Crunch want to help your baking, so they are sending you home with a prize pack worth over $100.
Loving this one.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.